Andrew, you have spent a great deal of effort on the teleological argument, the argument from design toward the existence of God. Arguments for the existence of God like this have been around a long time. A lot of people have talked about it. What freshness, what originality do you bring to the teleological argument?
The originality which I bring to the argument is by formulating a novel deductive formulation of the argument, in which, using the laws of logic, we can discover that there are only a few possibilities when it comes to explaining the fine-tuning of the universe or the mathematical describable order of the universe. And so the argument goes this way. So either this fine-tuning and order, either it is uncaused or it is caused. Now, if it's caused, then there are only a few possibilities. Either it's random causes, which we call chance, right, randomness, or it is not random. Now, if it's not random, then either it is non-intelligent, non-random, non-random, non-intelligent, so we can think of it as a kind of regularity, right, in a sense, or it is intelligent, non-random, or it can be a combinations of these few, right? So it can be a combination of regularity and randomness, or regularity plus randomness plus intelligence, right? So so there are only these few possibilities. And in my books, I then proceed to argue against the alternatives that do not involve intelligence, and then come to the conclusion that, therefore, the conclusion is that there is an intelligent designer of the universe.
In Bertrand Russell's famous debate with Father Copleston on the BBC in the late 1940s, I think, Copleston made an argument like you do, and Bertrand Russell had a very simple answer, and he just said the universe just is, and that's all. Bertrand Russell is a smart guy. How do you argue against that? That the same arguments you could use for the personal creator or first cause, that same argument can be utilized for the universe as a whole.
So there are two responses to Russell's objection. The first response is that we can combine the teleological argument with the Kalam cosmological argument. So the Kalam cosmological argument shows that the uncaused first cause will have to have libertarian freedom in order to bring about the first event. And so this shows that it is not an impersonal universe, right? So you can't say that the universe is there and that's all, but then because the Kalam argument shows that the uncaused first cause.
So the point is you need to bring in the Kalam cosmological argument in order to meet Russell's objection to the teleological argument. Is that right?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you need to bring in the Kalam. I'm saying that bringing in the Kalam is one way to respond.
Okay.
Right, and is a sufficient response. And the second way is, the second response is to say that, well, other than using the Kalam, we can think about the order itself and think about why there is a continuous order, and why is it the case that the order can be described in these elegant mathematical equations. So John Leslie actually has a good analogy. Where he says that if we were to discover that there's a natural law which is such a way that the word God create the universe will be formed automatically, continuously, right, throughout history. So if we discover that, it'll be of no use to say that, okay, if the universe has no beginning, we don't need to explain that. No, you can't say that. We still need to explain that. How come is it so ordered in this way? And so when we look at, when scientists study the universe, they discover that there's a high degree of order continuously. So for example, E equals mc squared, for example, right? The universe continuously behaving in such a highly ordered way instead of the particles, the energy of the particles being transformed in one way or transformed the other way or flying here, flying there all the time. No, it's not like that. It's not. But there's a continuous sense of order, just as the analogy that Leslie used. And so this still need to be explained. And so you can't say that, oh, the universe is there and that's all, but then that doesn't explain that, right? And so the best explanation for that is still an intelligent designer, as I argue in my book, by excluding the other alternatives. We can show that the conclusion of the designer still follows.